Hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry about that. Live event, these things happen. So anyhow, but welcome to the global launch of the Fashion Studio. My name is Mark Duhame. I'm with Overview USA. We're streaming live from our headquarters here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be joined by our counterparts in Poland, Tomasz Bochenek, who's the CEO of OrbitView, and Hansa Wojtek, who is the product manager with OrbitView. And also joining me is Diego Castro. He's our Director of Technical Services here in the US. So we'll talk about our agenda that we're going to go through today. So we'll head over to Poland and get some comments and some insight from Tomek and from Hansa. After that, we'll come back here and we'll do a hardware overview of the system. From there, we'll take some Q&A. So during the course of the event, what we'd like you to do is if you have questions, go ahead and make some comments in your platform that you're sharing or that you're watching us on, and we'll try to answer as many of these questions as possible. It's sometimes difficult in a live event to get to everything, but be sure after the event, if we haven't got to any questions, then go ahead and hit us up at orbitview.com. Feel free to reach out and we'll answer any questions you may have. So first, let's introduce Tomasz Bochenek and Hansa Wojtek. We're going to go ahead and bring them in. Let me get our screen set up here. Okay, guys, I think you've joined us. Let's make sure you guys have unmuted your microphones.
Yeah, I hope you can hear us.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about not being able to hear me before. I'm asking you to unmute, and I think I was muted before, so, oh well. That's what happens in a live event. So
yeah, that's the demo effect. We know it. That's live.
Too many controls here, you know? So anyhow, so again, thanks for joining us. I think what I'll do is I'll kick it to you guys, Tomasz and Hansa, just to provide some insight on OrbitView and more about the Fashion Studio and some of the technology. And then, like I said, as far as the agenda, we'll be kicking it back here to start off an actual hardware overview of the system. So guys, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Welcome from our studio in Poland, or should I say from our Fashion Studio in Poland. My name is Tomasz Bochenek. I'm CEO of OrbitView. I'm here with Hansa Wojtek, our product manager, who is behind this beautiful product. You know, OrbitView is very widely known by its compact photographic studios for rather smaller products, which automate content production. Not everybody knows, though, that more or less 25 years ago, we already started a business related to photography, and we supplied large-scale photographic studios for fashion, for product photography, you name it. And we always had this idea in mind, you know, can you transfer this technology from small, compact photographic studios into something bigger, into a real full-size photo studio that is, capable of taking pictures and videos of live models. So you can make it on one hand faster, easier, make pictures in consistent way, but on the other hand, to make a product that allows you to still be creative, to still allow you to keep your own style of your pictures, and to use those pictures not only for e-commerce but also for marketing. So that was our idea, and Hansa, who is father of Fashion Studio, I think he did a good job of doing this, and he will tell you a little bit more how he did it.
Thank you, Tomek. Thank you. Hello again. Really happy to be here. I'm a photographer by heart, by education, by profession. And when I was asked by Tomek to design Fashion Studio, the biggest automated studio by OrbitView so far, I just went back to my memories of being in photography industry, shooting photos in traditional photo studios. And some of those memories were good. Some of them were of me like struggling. So my aim in designing Fashion Studio was to keep the good ones and avoid the bad ones. I may give you two examples. So in traditional photo studio, I really liked lighting, like the lighting flexibility, the fact that I was able to shape the light anything I wanted. So this is something I absolutely wanted to transfer to Fashion Studio. But on the other hand, Orbit View is about automation, efficiency, consistency. So that's why in Fashion Studio, we have 14 individually controlled light sources that you don't move, but you change the proportion and intensity of those light sources to achieve various lighting setups, lighting moods. Here on the screen, you can see an example demonstrating what I'm saying. So this is a portrait of a male model with 5 very different lighting setups that I achieved without moving a single lamp. I achieved it just by changing the light intensities of all those individual light sections that we have. So this is the good bit that I embedded into Fashion Studio. What I struggled with at traditional photo studio was getting the pure white background. I needed to use 2 side lamps, 1 top lamp. I got a lot of light reflected on the model, so I had to move her very long away from the background. So that's why in Photo Studio, Fashion Studio, we have backlit wall, LED wall, that you can, with a single click, turn the light on. We will show you right now. And you have pure white background instantly, effortlessly. So this is to illustrate the principle that I used to design Fashion Studio. There's of course a lot more. Basically, all my photography experience is embedded in this beautiful machine, and everybody who buys it can benefit from it.
Hamza, thank you. Yeah, I think that you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Mark in the US will now make a more detailed introduction of the hardware features of our Fashion Studio. Mark, I give you the voice.
All right, thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to our mobile camera. I'm going to have Diego grab our mobile camera, and we're going to give you a kind of a hardware overview of the system. We'll kind of show you physically what the system's all about. And then from there, we'll take a little Q&A. So again, if you have questions, just pop them up through your social media platform, and we'll see if we could address those, at least some of those at that time. So let me switch over to our mobile camera. Okay, so now what we'll do, I like to start from the outside, or we'll work our way in. So what you'll notice first with the system is this rail system. So the camera stand sits on a rail system, so you could actually control the distance of the camera to the stage or to your subject. And you'll notice on the rail system, there's numeric indicators. So these are fixed positions that you can move the stand to. Again, it really helps with consistency and repeatability. And then obviously we have the camera stand itself. And the camera stand is a motorized camera stand, and we'll show you more about it as we actually do a live demonstration. But you can see we could control the camera height, the tilt, and the zoom level. And we can all control that all through the software. And those camera positions can all be saved into templates in the software. We'll show you how that works. So it's a completely motorized camera stand. As we move closer, it comes with this operator stand. So it's on wheels. You can control the height of the monitor, so it's very ergonomic. But it comes with this operator stand. The studio itself is built from a nice, it's a lightweight truss construction, strong construction. It's very nice. It really has what I like about it, has a nice industrial studio look to it. So it looks great in a studio environment. As we step up onto the stage, You'll notice we have a large 3 meter by 3 meter stage, so it gives us plenty of room to be creative. So whether you're shooting on model, whether you're shooting larger hard goods, it gives you a lot of flexibility as to what you could shoot because of the size of the stage itself. And then Hansa indicator talked about lighting, which is a very powerful part of this system. So we'll review a little bit about the lights. As he indicated, we have actually 7 lights, 14 different light zones. And we'll kind of show you how that works. But we'll start out here. This is our main light. And again, the main light can be rotated to different positions. It actually has a dial up top, so you could put it to, again, repeatable fixed positions. And then the light itself is zoned in half. So you could actually control top and bottom zones separately, or you can lock them together and control them together. We have a fill light over here. Same thing. We got top and bottom zone, and also you can rotate and reposition the fill light. And then, you know, with the system, you can actually switch these. If you want your main light on this side, fill light on that side, you can also do that. As we move up towards the top, you notice we've got 2 top front lights and 2 top back lights. So that's 4 more lighting zones. And those lights actually can rotate up there, so you could actually reposition those as well. As we move to the back, these are our kick lights. So we've got a left and a right kick light, again, zoned in half, top and bottom. So we got 4 more light zones between the 2. And again, you can reposition and rotate. And then the back wall, again, Hansa mentioned we have a large LED backlit wall. So this is great. And actually, it can be zoned into 2 different light zones. So this is fantastic because you can actually create pure white backgrounds. You can use this wall, again, maybe to shoot hard goods and do our automatic background removal, which we'll talk about a little bit later, show you how that works. But again, it adds a lot of flexibility to the system. In addition, you'll notice we have these side curtains. So it's white on one side, black on the other. So that helps with contrast control. Up top, you notice we have a roll of industry standard seamless. So if you'd like to put a piece of color seamless up there, it accepts industry standard seamless backdrops. And then what you can't see in the back is actually a speaker system. And that gives audio cues to the model that's on the stage. So when you're about to record, she'll be able to hear an indicator, let you know when recording is going to start, for example. And then as far as communication for the photographer and the model, or maybe the photographer and creative staff, we have a secondary monitor display. So as you come around, you can see that you have a live view from the stage of what the operator or what the photographer or what the camera is seeing. So again, for a model, it's nice to be able to see what the camera's seeing. Maybe for a creative team, it's nice because they can, you know, maybe when they're setting up props or setting up the stage, it again helps with the workflow, helps speed things up by having that visual cue as to what the camera's seeing. And then lastly, you'll see that there's a laser indicator down. This actually points to center of stage. So again, if a model comes out, they know exactly where center of stage is. Again, this is all to help the communication between the photographer and the model or the creative staff that's up here working. So everything is built to be ergonomic, to be efficient, to be fast and productive. So I think, Diego, did I cover it? I think we covered the hardware part of this. Let's walk on over, and I think what we're going to do now is start our first little Q&A session. We'll see if we got any questions coming in. And what we're going to do is switch back.
Hello again.
Okay, I think we're back. All right, guys, I think we tried to cover everything on the hardware. Is there anything we missed? Anything you want to add as far as the hardware portion of the system?
You did it just right.
All right, good.
You cannot add anything.
Covered it completely. Yeah.
So let's take a look. Let's see if we've got any questions. Okay, Hansa, you talked a lot about lighting, and someone is asking about what is the power, what's the lighting power of those LEDs on this system?
Well, there's a lot of power. I talked about it recently to our engineer in R&D in electronics, who was calculating it for us for our data sheet. And it's 250,000 lumens. And to give you perspective how much lighting power it is, it's like over 150, 100 watts bulbs, which are actually banned in Europe because it's just too much power consuming. So it's really a lot of light, which means that you can use either low ISO rating. You can also use very short shutter speeds to capture movement. So this is something. This is the good bit that I brought from traditional photo studio into our automated fashion studio. A lot of light.
Yeah, technically speaking, it's almost 5 kilowatts of energy.
Okay.
Consumed.
Another question coming in is what camera lens can be used with this system?
So as for the cameras, you can use Canons, and we have some recommendations that you can find on our website. And you can use both DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. We are also working with Sony to provide compatibility with Sony cameras. As for lenses, Honza, maybe you add something?
As for lenses, again, on our website, there's supported lenses. But if you want to use the motorized stand that you showed and motorized zoom, as of today, we support two lenses. It's Canon 7200 and Tamron 28300. But if there's demand, I can imagine adding more lenses, adding support for more lenses in the future.
Another question is the system, is it only for fashion? Can you shoot other things inside this system, given the size of the stage, I'm sure?
Yes, basically you can shoot anything that fits into this studio, depending whether you need to remove background or not. If you need to remove background, right now you can use our accessory that we'll show later. And with this accessory, you can shoot products up to 50 by 50 by 50. No, the height, it doesn't matter, but 50 by 50 footprint size of a product. Then you can remove background. But I think, Honza, you shot a sofa here, right?
Yes. It was sofa 2 meters wide, so fairly big product.
So basically, whatever fits into the product, you can shoot.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Another question coming in is about, is a technical team needed to build and install the system on site?
Well, yes, and we have our own team that is coming to the site to install the system. Mark, you know it, that in theory, it's also possible to install the system just using our video tutorials. But
right.
Normally, we would provide our team that would come and install the system.
That's part of the process. Part of the purchase is making sure there's resources available to do the installation and setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I may add one thing, is that we showed Fashion Studio at Panorama Berlin Fashion Trade Show, and I was part of the team who was installing it, and it was really smooth and easy. I think we had it done in like 3-4 hours. So if you compare it to traditional studio, it's basically not much different.
And how about another question coming in is about the physical size. How much space is needed for one of these systems?
Yeah, so for this stage, as you mentioned, it's 3 by 3 meters. Then we, of course, we need to have some more space for the camera. And normally we are supplying the studio with the rail system that is consisting of 2 or 3 1.5 meter rails. So it should you should consider 3 by 6 3 by 8 meter studio to fit it?
Well, that's the principle of Orbit View, that we create solutions that are flexible and modular, and that will fit to your needs and to your like available space. So as I mentioned, Panorama Berlin, there was not much space, so we only used one rail segment, and we were still able to shoot 2 models on the stage. If you have enough room, you can use 3 rail segments and have camera 6 meters away from the center of the stage.
So with one module, it was 3 by 4.5 meter, right? Am I right? Yeah, because just one.
With one rail segment, it's 1.5 plus 1.5, so it's 3 meters.
No, plus 3.
But the center
to the center, right?
to the center, it's 3.
But the total size is
Okay, total size.
okay. Sorry.
As long as we got that straight, that's good. Another question just came in, and they're asking, what material is the floor made of?
The floor?
Yes.
The floor is, I think it's PCV material, right?
The flooring is PCV, yep. But for the first layer on the floor, we use special foam that will level any, like, I don't know, irregularities on the flooring, and also it absorbs when you step on it. So it's very comfortable to walk on the stage or jump on the stage because it absorbs the shocks. And then on this foam layer there is cardboard. No, the plywood, I believe.
Yeah, it's wood. Yep. Yeah.
Is it?
Plywood.
Yes, it's a wood. Right. It's a wood composite. Yep, exactly.
And then there's this PVC flooring that is replaceable in case it gets damaged somehow. You can replace it with a new one.
And I think what's nice about it, and we've actually had the experience here, is because it's at ground level on the floor. I mean, there's really heavy things. I mean, there's not much of a weight restriction as far as what you could put on the stage. We've had motorcycles and all kinds of things on this system, and it works perfectly.
Great.
Another question coming in, and I think this will help with some clarification. They're asking if the rail system itself is motorized, and and I'll let you guys address that.
Hamza?
It's not.
It's not. Not yet.
Exactly.
Not yet. But it seems to be frank, to build motorized movement for the whole motorized stand. The cost will be substantial. So
right.
We are able to do it. Absolutely, it's no problem. But I don't expect much demand for such a feature.
But we engineers want to do it.
Of course. I will say, just from experience, it moves nice and smooth and very easy. I mean, it's very easy to push that camera back and forth on that rail system. It's designed very, very nicely. I think that's all the questions coming in right now. So I think we'll wrap up this portion of the Q&A. And now what we're going to do on our agenda is we're going to go ahead and I think get to the point where everyone wants us to get to. It's just, let's do some shooting, right? Let's have a little bit of fun. We'll show you how the system works. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set up here.
Looking forward. Have fun, Mark and Diego.
Yep, we're on it. So we're going to come here, and then I'm going to have Diego share his screen. So now what you should be seeing is the Orbit View Station software. So what we'll do, we'll just kind of give you a quick overview of the interface itself to start with, and then we'll actually do some shooting. So the first thing we're going to do is this first session, we're going to focus more on, let's just say, more traditional e-commerce shooting. So Cam, our model, is wearing a dress. We'll kind of go from the standpoint of we're trying to sell that dress. We're going to have to create some still images for our website and some video content. So the first thing Diego's going to do is he's going to create a shooting session for this particular SKU, for this dress. So he's going to name the session, and you'll notice there's different attributes here that you could apply to this session. These are all things that can be entered with a barcode. They could be manually set up. You could customize the titles of these different categories. So there's a lot of things you can do as far as custom attributes in this system. So Diego's going to go ahead and just do a barcode scan of that garment. You can see it populated the session name with that barcode, and now we're ready to start shooting. So let's start real quick. It's just a quick overview. So we're going to start on the top left, and you'll see Diego just drop down a box, and this is the camera list. So these are the cameras that are attached. Currently, we have a Camera 5D Mark IV is what we're using. We are using, by the way, a 70 to 200 millimeter lens on this system. So we could close that box up. And the nice thing about the interface, as I mentioned before, you can open, close windows, you could hide windows, you could kind of customize the layout of the interface depending on who's running the system and what tools you may want to see or not want to see. So as we move down, you'll notice this is the default templates that come with the system. And this is a very, very powerful feature in the Fashion Studio, and actually with all of the Orbit View systems, is the ability to create and save custom lighting and camera setting templates. And Diego can just kind of click through those again real quick, and you can see the different lighting that's affecting our model on the stage. And these, again, are just defaults that come with the system. You can create as many as you like, your own custom templates. And again, it will save the camera settings, the lighting settings, and we'll kind of show you how that works as we move on. As we move down, you'll see the actual camera settings. You'll see the exposure, the aperture control, ISO. So all the things you're accustomed to seeing as far as being able to control the camera. And again, these settings can be saved into a template. And as we move down, this is all the lighting. So this is where we talked about the 7 lights, the 14 different lighting zones. So Diego can kind of control each of those lights. Let's say the main light, he could control as one unit, or he could split them, and he could control each zone independently. So this is how we get to our 14 different controllable light zones. So again, very, very powerful feature. And again, you'll see as he rolls down, those are all the different light zones that we have control over. And again, all these settings can be saved into a template. As we move across, obviously you see Cam, our model, on the stage. It's just a live view of what the camera's seeing. And again, she could see herself on that secondary display that we showed you in the hardware overview, as well as the laser positioning on the floor. She knows where center of stage is. And as we move to the right, we get into our different shooting modes. So we have our still shooting mode and our video capture mode. And then below that is our camera control. So this is the motorized camera system. So you see Diego can control the zoom levels, the tilt, and the height of the camera from the software. And again, these settings can be saved into a template as well. So there's a lot of things that you could template. So maybe what we'll do, Diego, is we'll just go ahead and start doing some shooting. So again, let's go from the standpoint of we're trying to sell this dress. We need to create some still and video content for our website. So what Diego can do is recall a nice lighting template that he likes, get his camera set up, and Diego, I'll let you work with Cam and get the different shots that you need.
Awesome. Sounds great. So Cam, in this scene, why don't we do a couple of different photos? Let's do 4. Why don't we do one facing front, then we do an angle left, angle right, and then we'll do one from the back of the dress, just to get started, okay? All right, perfect. So let me focus on you really quick. All right, I'm gonna start capturing the first image. Perfect. All right, angle 1. Let's do the next angle. Great, and let's do one from the back of the dress. All right, we got our 4 images.
And why don't we do, maybe we do one, Diego, a little more zoomed in, tighter shot.
Absolutely.
Again, we're focusing on the dress. This is what we're selling on our website.
There we go. We'll do a tight shot on that. Great.
Okay, so now we got our, what, 5 shots,
We got
Diego?
our 5 shots. Yep.
All right, let's pop over into our edit mode. So up top, Diego's gonna click and go into edit mode. So now he has all his 5 images and actually has a lot of control here to do some editing. For example, on the left, you'll see the different tools he has. He can add sharpness, brightness, contrast, work with highlight shadows. There's temperature. So right here, he can actually do some quick adjustments if he'd like. Over on the right-hand side, there's cropping tools. So again, all these settings here can also be saved as a template or into a template. So for example, if you like adding maybe a bit of sharpness to your images, you could add some sharpness and save that in your template. So that'll automatically be applied every time you take a shot. So let's do this, Diego. Let's just go to 100% real quick and just kind of take a look.
Absolutely.
And you'll notice we were able to create a shot on a pure white background using that LED back wall. So again, for our e-commerce use, this is a nice image on a pure white background. And let's maybe go to that close-up shot.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, you also needed a detail shot. So what we can do here is we can actually duplicate the image. Instead of shooting another one, just duplicate this one. And now we have another version of that image, and Diego will use his crop tool. And he could go ahead and crop and again, he could crop by different ratios, totally depends on what you need. And he'll go in and just crop out a detail shot. And there you go. So let's like a quick overview of capturing stills. Let's go into video capture mode, Diego. So now what we're going to do, we're going to capture some video clips. And let's, what Diego's doing now, by the way, he's moving the camera position. He's physically moving the camera to a further back position. He's going to bring up, we're going to do, Diego, 3 different videos.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do, we're going to capture 3 different clips. And Diego, I'll kind of let you work with Cam, kind of explain what you're going to do and have at it.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do right now is let's capture 3 independent videos. The first one, what we can do is we can have you walk into the stage, maybe throw 1 or 2 poses, maybe do a turn, and that will conclude our first video. Then for the second one, we can even do an elevator shot. And then for the third one, what we'll do, for example, we'll have you do 1 or 2 poses and then just walk out. Perfect. So let me focus on you really quick. All righty. So if you want to step out, and we'll have you come back in.
You guys might be having a little bit of a hard time here, Diego. We'll kind of reset his mic here in a second.
Perfect.
I think we got him back.
All right, great. So we've successfully captured our first video. Now for the second video, why don't we do the elevator shot? So we'll actually do the elevator shot, but we'll get a nice crop to the dress. All right, we'll get started. So this will be a 6-second video. Perfect. And for the last one, why don't we do a 6-second video, and we'll have you do a turn, a pose. Oh, actually, just do a pose, and then you can actually walk out. Okay, so 6 seconds. Perfect.
All right.
Great. So now you got three videos captured.
We do.
So again, you could go into edit mode at this point. You could take a look at the videos, and we give you the ability now to you could control trim. You could trim the video right here if you need to. So if something maybe is a little bit too long, you could cut it off right here and just get that done. So we'll take a look at the first one. So this is the walk-on video. And again, if you need to repeat this video over and over with different dresses, you could template the lighting, the camera setting, and the camera movement.
So for example, this video is too long, we can also trim it. There we go. We have our elevator shot. Nice.
And again, even that one, you could trim back a little bit if it went a little bit too high.
Absolutely.
And again, you notice we're on a pure white background. So again, with lighting in that LED back wall, Diego's able to create video on a nice pure white background.
In the last workout video. Perfect.
Nice. All right, so now that we have our digital assets captured, so we got those stills, we got that video, now we'll talk about export or publish. So up top, Diego's clicking on the publish button there. And this is where you export your different digital assets. So you notice on the right-hand side, he has a lot of what we call output presets. So again, for stills, you have the capability of customizing what you want the system to output. So in this particular case, he has a preset made for a TIFF file. He's got another for a JPEG file. You could also do PNG. So let's go through the JPEG setup. And you notice this gives you a lot of control, again, where you can decide what file format you want to create. In this case, JPEG. You could decide where you want to send the file to, whether it's local to a server, upload to a server. This is where you can define your place to send it out to. And then as you move down, you could control quality, compression, for example. You could set dimensions of the file. You could leave it at 1-to-1 original size. You could set fixed dimensions. So just a lot of control here as far as what you can create as far as custom output templates. So when you're done, let's just hit done there. So again, he's got a TIFF. Let's say we needed a TIFF for a catalog. We need a JPEG for our website. And let's say maybe you needed another JPEG. Maybe you needed a thumbnail image for your website as well. He could very simply create another output preset. And at that point, he'd have TIFF and 2 JPEG output presets. And then the same for video. You'll see he's got 2 video output presets created. One is to output individual video clips. So if we go into edit there, Diego, same thing. You have the same ability to send the file where you want to send it. You could set the sizing. And then you could also actually choose which video clips you'd like to output. Again, these are going to be individual clips. So for example, if he says 1 to 3, it's going to output all 3 of those clips as individual files. And again, you could choose MP4 files or QuickTime MOV files. So again, you could create as many of these output presets as you'd like. So we'll say done here. And then the other one he created is what we call video clips merged. So very, very powerful feature of this system is the ability to not only output the individual clips, but you can merge clips together to create one larger clip. So for example, in our scenario here, if we wanted to make all 3 of these videos one merged file, you simply create a output preset and tell it to merge those videos together. And again, you have all the same parameters as far as where you want to send it to and so on and so forth. But this will allow you to merge these files together. And let's say you had shot a bunch of different videos. Maybe you have 15 or 20 videos here. You could pick and choose which ones you'd like to merge together. So you could pick one, merge 1 and 3, for example. You just go ahead and plug in what those would be. and it will output and combine the specific video clips that you choose. So that's kind of a quick overview of how the export or publish feature works. So hopefully that gave you a good overview, at least from the standpoint of shooting for let's say e-commerce for that example. What we're going to do now is we're going to send it back over to Poland, and we're going to have them shoot a static hard good. Again, this will help show the flexibility of the system. It will show you how you not only can shoot on model fashion, you can also shoot hard goods and work with auto background removal, which of course Overview is famous for. So I'm going to send it back over to Poland. And Hansa, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear
Perfect.
you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure everyone can see you guys. Okay, take it away, guys.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much for this presentation. Now we will show you a little bit on how you can shoot hard goods. So as you can see now inside of our fashion studio, we put an accessory. We call it the magic table because it makes background magically disappear. And Hansa will show you how magic table works in fashion studio, how you can photograph hard goods and remove background automatically.
I will indeed. Thank you, Tomek, for introduction. And before I start, I would just like to point out the central section of background that is LED wall, mentioned several times before. So now we have the sides of the back wall off to make sure that we have less parasite light getting on our product. And this central section can be either shrinked or expanded. So now I will switch to Orbit station, and let me just load the template. So now we have all the settings loaded for our next photo session. I will just zoom in using our motorized zoom. And now when I hit capture, we will capture six different images with 6 different light setups. At the bottom, you can see the thumbnails of images being downloaded. I'm not sure if you can see it on the stream, but at first there is background and then it instantly disappears. So if one more, and I will show you the images. Okay, so we can go to edit, and now I will quickly go through all the images we captured. So you can see that it's 6 very differently litten, I'm not sure if that's a word, photos. And I will tell you a bit more about them. So this first one used main light as the key light, and then a bit of top lights and fill light from the front. So it's a fairly evenly lit photo. On the second one, I used top light as the main light. Here I added kick lights, so you can see that the sides are brighter than on the previous images. For this one, I used fill light from the front as the main light. And here, these are just bonus images. Well, I wouldn't say lit properly, but they're supposed to show you. Well, these are just the top lights. So this is right top light and left top light. So you can see the difference in product modeling and light shaping without moving the lamps, just by choosing the light section you wish. And now we can go into detail of the photo. We can, because here we have nice pure white background, but actually it's added there because the background is removed in fact. And you can add any background color you wish. We can also have a look at the mask, which is fairly good, I would say, or very good. It also removed the background here in between the threads. And if you don't like this one thread, so for example, so you can take eraser and just erase it out, or you can switch to display final image and edit the mask while seeing the final photo. Would you add anything, Domek?
I cannot add anything. You nailed it. Yeah, this is how you can make pictures of hard goods, hard products. One thing that I may add is that we are also working for another accessory that would allow you to not only take products from one angle, but an accessory with turntable that will allow you to take multiple views of a product in Fashion Studio. That's what I would add.
It's very good addition.
Yeah, so Jose, thank you. I think now we can move back to the United States, where Mark will make another session, a little bit more creative session with Fashion Studio.
Perfect.
Mark, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Thank you. All right, so we're going to come back over here. So what we're going to do now is, for our third and final shooting session, is again do something a little bit more creative, kind of show the stage a little bit more, the ability to use some props. Again, I'm going to have Diego go ahead and share his screen, and we'll get right back to shooting again, something a little bit different. So now you should again see the Orbit View Station software interface, and you could see our model Cam, and she's ready to do some fighting.
Yeah.
So again, we just want to be able to show that, you know, with this system, you could be as creative as you like, with props, with sets, and we got a little boxing theme here. So what we're gonna have Diego do, again, Diego, I'll let you kind of take over. Again, we'll shoot some stills, maybe capture a couple video, but just show you something a little bit different than, again, a more traditional e-commerce set.
Perfect. All right, Cam, why don't we do a couple of things? Let's take a couple of different images. Maybe we'll do a couple of different poses in this specific template that we have created. So first of all, for the first one, if you can give us yeah, perfect. I don't even have to tell you what to do. So we'll capture the first image. Very nice. Why don't we do another one of you, for example, with your gloves up? Perfect. And then why don't we do one more of you actually punching towards us, towards the camera. All right. Perfect. All right. What we can also take advantage of is why don't we do a couple of shots, for example, you sitting on the chair. Let's pretend that you've done finishing working out, you're tired, you can grab the towel, and I'm gonna switch to the next different template. We're gonna change a little bit this angle of the camera. All right. So for this one, if you want to, you can look to the side of the camera or side of the stage. We'll take a quick image. Perfect. And let's do one actually zoomed in a bit more. Perfect. And then for our last image, why don't we do one of you actually standing up? Perfect. Let me zoom out a little bit. Looks good. And we'll do one there. Perfect. And one more. All right. So we've captured 7 different images.
7 stills, nice.
Mhm.
So again, let's go to edit.
Perfect.
Maybe just take a look at these.
Yeah,
Maybe
Beautiful.
pop one at 100%.
absolutely.
That one right there.
Oh, this one right here. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And again, like we showed you before, you know, if you wanted more of a detailed shot, let's dupe that one, Diego.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, everything that we're shooting today, we're gonna give you access to. We're gonna upload everything up to our website and then provide links so you can actually download the images. I know it's a little bit hard to see on a live stream what this is looking like, but we'll be sure to upload those and give you access to them. So again, Diego's going to do a quick copy of that photo,
Mm-hmm. All right,
do
went
a quick
ahead.
little crop, and
Yep.
create a whole different image from it.
Perfect.
Nice. Let's go. Let's do a couple videos.
Sounds good. So what don't we do for the first one? Why don't we do a video of you actually sitting down in the chair? And then we modify just the camera.
So you're just going to move it on the stand, set the camera distance.
Okay, perfect. All right. So for this one, we'll do a, what do we do for this one? A bottom to middle. So it's gonna start at your feet and it's gonna go all the way up. It's gonna elevate and it'll be a 6-second video. And how about this? How about we have you move your face up, start looking at the camera as the video starts going up, okay? Perfect. Let me focus on you, so we'll start. Perfect. That looks great. And then why don't we do one more video? And this one, actually, what we can do is have you stand up. We'll make this one a little bit of a longer video, and we'll do 12 seconds. And in this case, why don't we have you showing that you've done with your work, you're done finishing with your workout, and you start taking your gloves off. So I'll go ahead and choose a different template. We'll choose the angle. Up a bit. All right, so we'll get started. Perfect. All right, so we capture our 2 videos. So I can actually go into the edit mode and I can go into the video and we can really quick just see what we've captured. So the first one's gonna be our chair video, the elevator video. Oh, very nice. Perfect. And for the second video. And again, if this video is, for example, too long, we do have the capability of trimming the video so we can trim it at any point that we want.
And again, at this point, so now you've captured your content, you've got stills, you've got video. And again, the output or publish or export feature, same as what we showed in the first session. So we won't go through that again. We don't want to be redundant, but basically you can set up your output presets, create your still images in different file formats, different sizes, your videos in different formats, different sizes, and save your output presets, and it just streamlines that whole process of exporting and output. So we just want to give you a little idea of ways you can use a fashion studio, again, from maybe a more creative standpoint. So it's not just about creating e-commerce content, but maybe you need to create content again for marketing use, for social media channels and so forth. So it's a great use of the system. So Diego, thank you. Let's
Thank you, Cam.
We'll unshare there, and we'll come back. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up for Q&A again. So let me bring back our friends in Poland. Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Hello
can hear
again.
you. Can you hear
All
us?
right, perfect, perfect. So again, I hope we were able to give a good overview of the system, different uses of the system. I want to take a look at some more questions and see if we could address those. Let's see what we got here. Someone is asking if you can get raw files from the software. Would you guys like to address that?
Yeah, basically it's you can choose to shoot just raw or raw and JPEG, and you can extract raw files. So you can then use your own raw processing workflow. So our software can fit into any workflow that you have, basically. So it's not a problem.
Perfect. Someone else is asking, how many of these presets can you save and for how long? So I'm assuming they mean the output presets. And I guess I can answer that real quick. You could save as many as you like, right?
Yeah, so if I understood you correctly, so you can save presets for we call it exposure. So you can save presets for lighting, for camera setup. Then you save presets for position. So if you want to shoot different angles of the camera position, different shots of the same product, you can set it up. You can save presets for your post-production. So anything that you do in the post-production, it gets saved into the template. And as a separate, you can save your publishing presets. So where you want to save your images, what resolution or videos, that all goes into those publishing presets.
I would add one tiny thing, which is that we can control up to 5 cameras at a time, which for Fashion Studio you probably wouldn't use when you record videos. But if you want to use Fashion Studio to shoot any other products, you can have 2 cameras at front, 1 camera at top, and control them through the same template as you would the other settings.
Yeah.
Okay. Another good question. They're asking about, they can see that the camera's in portrait mode. What about being able to shoot in landscape? How could you create a landscape image?
Yeah, so we are supplying a bracket, camera bracket, that allows you to position camera in landscape mode, basically, right?
That's right. We just shipped one yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an accessory that you could actually shoot physically either in portrait or landscape mode. And I guess the other thing too, you could
Absolutely.
with your cropping tool, you could crop to fixed ratios, right? So you could even crop to a landscape image if you'd like.
But you lose pixels.
Yeah,
correct.
I would say it depends on the resolution that you require, because in many situations
right.
you don't need to rotate. It's just you crop it out.
You crop it out, right? Right. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. We talked about raw files. Oh, someone had made note, I think probably when we shot the model on the pure white background, the comment was that they noticed the floor is visible in the preview, but not in the final image, and they're wondering if we're using IQ Mask to do that. And the answer is no. We actually use lighting and the ability to set a white point to create a pure white background between the background and the stage floor. So that's how we're able to achieve pure white throughout the entire image in the background.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it worked.
Let's see if we've got anything else. I think. Oh, again, someone is asking about the edit tools, and asking if you have to edit in post. And I think what we've shown is there are quite a bit of edit tools actually built into the Orbit View Station software. And maybe you guys want to expound on that a little bit, but we actually give you that some of that ability right within the software.
Mark, I'm not sure I got you. You mean what are the capabilities of the post-production in the software?
Yeah, in other words, in they're asking if you have to do post-production or editing in outside of Overview Station. And I think what we'd like to be able have folks understand is that you do have some editing capability within Overview Station. You know, applying sharpness, for example, cropping,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. So there's actually some tools built within the software that you could take advantage of, and even template some of that.
Yeah, so normally what you would do, it's you would use OrbitView Station software to produce images that are as close to your let's say required images as you want. So for example, you would output your resolution, you would output all the post-production, and if you need to add some post-production, some editing, then you would use the output image and edit it in Photoshop, for example. So you still can do it. Of course, we would like to cover the whole process, but if you need to do some post-production in Photoshop, for example, you can do it.
Perfect. And then someone else is talking about exporting files and be able to export directly to their web shop. Maybe talk a little bit about plugins that we have available.
Yeah, so we can provide several plugins for most common e-commerce platforms, including Shopify, PrestaShop, and few others. So with those plugins, you can directly hit publish button and get your images right into your store. And when you start shooting sessions, you usually provide a barcode or SKU for your product. So this these images of your product can be linked automatically to the product that you have in your eShop.
Perfect. And next question is, oh, did we use black seamless paper in that in our photo shoot with the boxing? Yes, we did. So we you actually pulled down some black seamless for that third photo shoot with the boxing theme. Absolutely. And I don't see any more questions, guys. I think we can wrap it up. Once again, you know, we appreciate everyone taking time. Tomek and Hansa, thank you very much for participating and providing your insight. It's invaluable to us. For those that maybe didn't get a question answered or still have questions, feel free to reach out to us on overview.com. We have a whole global network of partners and distributors and sales offices. We're happy to show you not only the Fashion Studio, but all the different OrbitView solutions. So again, feel free to get in touch. We'd love to talk to you about your needs. So again, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a good day, a good evening, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark, and thank you,
Thanks.
thank
See
everybody.
you guys.
Thank you. It was fun. Take care.